It's time for The King and the Cop with the legendary former MLB great Jim Leyritz. And with 100 years of law enforcement in his blood, Tommy Sedner. It's all things sports, plus cop talk, current events, entertainment, and more. Joined by America's favorite Jersey girl, Robin DeLory. It's The King and the Cop.
December 5th, Monday night, top King, third, big day. He was 40 years old. He gave him $14 million a year. So much for loyalty to the World Series champion. He knew what his dream was. But he's a gamer. He's a future Hall of Famer, that's for sure. They have now number one and number two pitchers for sure.
I don't know what you mean.
Nobody's happy. This is a Met house.
I'm not happy.
The kids aren't even excited. And that just goes to show you that the Grom nightmare, they fight him all year long. Verlander did go on John surgery. Remarkable comeback. Comes back from Cy Young this year. But we'll wait for the game. And another note before the game comes on.
I just don't know what you want me to say because I don't know anything about anything related to teaching or any of that. So it's like I just sit here and I'm just kind of like,
If you have a pulse, like you're a Met fan, and if you got a guy with $40 million to Cy Young and Rover, should you be excited as a fan? You don't need to know.
I think the whole thing is ridiculous.
Why so?
I think the whole thing is a racket. I don't even know where to start. I think it's all ridiculous. So, what do you want me to say? Great. Welcome, Verlander. Welcome, Kate Upton. Welcome to New York. I'm tired of hearing you guys talk about the Yankees. I'm actually kind of tired of hearing you talk about baseball.
Because right now we're deep into the winter baseball league. It's like the beautiful San Diego, which is where I should be right now. So it's crap here. But I will tell you on a sad note, before Jimmy comes on, Hollywood great actress, Christy Alley passed away.
Christy Alley, yeah. What's it called? The dancing sidekick, right?
Yeah.
What was the name she played on Cheers? Rebecca? Somebody comment.
Sam, he was Sam Malone. You know what Sam Malone did before he became a doctor last year?
He was a teacher for 1 year.
Being sarcastic, but that's the truth.
I loved Ted Danson. It was great. And now I love watching him on Curb. Enthusiasm. Audio is bad. wasn't good. That's really all that matters to me. So,
That's
well,
right.
thank you.
You're a fan of Verlander.
Well,
What's
audio.
the matter with our audio? Do we need to turn it up?
Um, can you hear us now?
I don't know. Here's Jimmy. You want to let Jimbo in?
Sure.
See if we can hear him and he can hear us. Gate 17, the king has arrived.
Flight 17 now taking off for Newark, New Jersey. Jim Lyritz, please come to your gate.
Where are you? Going back home now?
No, I'm in United in the courtesy suite, getting ready to jump on a plane to Newark.
Oh, to Newark.
Yeah, I'll be in New York the next 4 days.
Oh, it's beautiful here.
Greatest city in the world, Newark, New Jersey.
Yes. I got an appearance tomorrow night at the hockey game up in the UBS Center up in the Islanders. It's going to be hard, TC, because I can't root for them.
No.
Did you bring your gloves and your coat?
Hot Van
Yes,
sucks.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
But then I'll be in for a couple holiday parties and a few episodes of The King and the Cop.
Nice, because you're not the only one coming to New York. The Mets decided that they would bring another guy that's going to be collecting Social Security soon and give him $86 million for 2 years. That being said, the current Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander, along with his model wife, who's getting a lot of attention, Miss Kate Upton, are headed to Queens. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was at the winter meetings this morning, so I was down there most of the day. It was the big buzz between that and the Trey Turner signing. For the 11 years, $300 million that he got, which I think Carlos Correa's is doing backflips because his price just went up. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty interesting. It was one of the few winter meetings that there seems to be some more excitement for once. Like there's
Jimmy,
going to be
11 years. Ever been done before?
not that I know of. No.
Right.
No, but the Lindor contract might have been 11 too, but I'm not sure.
So the Met fans could be excited about Verlander, but in the next breath, Turner's going to Philly, and Philly was the one that was fighting for the World Series. I mean, Philadelphia is serious. Dombrowski's serious there, and he's a winner. So
Yeah.
it's going to be the best division by far, I think, in baseball next year.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting to see. I think once they lost DeGrom, they knew they had to do a couple of different things and to bring in some people, but it's really interesting because Judge has not signed yet, and it's really funny because you're down there with all these reporters and all these guys that are trying to make a name for themselves, dropping. I think the Mets offered 10 years, $350 million, and all these different rumors. And I'm like, guys, Aaron Judge with a C on his chest is pretty much an automatic ticket to the Hall of Fame. Why would you go anywhere else?
Right. Well, Jimmy, do you find this funny? He's currently with the Tampa Bucks shirt on the sidelines right now, but then he's flying to San Diego to be there tomorrow at the winter meetings.
Yeah.
Why would he go to
recording
unless there's an announcement's not come? I don't understand.
Well, yeah, exactly. He wouldn't be coming here for just to come here.
Right.
It'll be interesting. Like I said, I think it gets done. John Heyman and Joel Sherman both were reporting that it seems like they're probably going to make the announcement either late Tuesday night or early Wednesday, and that Judge will sign and he will become a Yankee for the rest of his career.
Were you surprised that your friend Brian Cashman got a 4-year extension to be the senior VP?
Not really. I mean, it's one of those things that it's everybody always wants to go. George was here. This wouldn't happen. George isn't here, unfortunately, and right. I don't like that either because he would treat us differently also. But the bottom line is, this team's winning 100 games each year. They get to the playoffs. Of course, they haven't got to where we want them to go because the team that's really better than them is Houston. So what are the Yankees going to do this year besides get Judge signed? Bring in some, there was a lot of talk this morning about Rondon. Rondon had a meeting with the Yankees early morning. So there's going to be a strong push for this guy to get signed also. So, and then I think once that happens, you're going to see a lot of trades. I don't think you're going to see Josh Donaldson, Kalefa, and Aaron Hicks on our opening day roster. I don't. If we sign Benintendi, the rumor now is the Mets are going after Benintendi also.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if Benintendi's an upgrade from Nimmo, because I kind of really like Nimmo. But I could see if Benintendi goes there, that the Yankees might take a shot at Nimmo and bring him to the other side.
Are you excited, Miss Met, that you got a pitcher after you lost a pitcher?
Well, I was wondering why you keep bumping into me. You're like bumping into me. If I excited about the Mets pitching, I can finally sleep tonight. I was like waiting with bated breath. I couldn't wait. But what I'd like to know is what's happening to my boy from Del Barton, Volpe.
Yeah, well, I don't know, right, Jimmy? He's like second line at this point.
Well, and I think that's really where the issue lies. Everybody got mad at Cashman for picking up Kalefa last year, and he was actually picking up somebody for a stopgap because they thought this kid would be ready this year. So I actually thought Kalefa was pretty good for us.
Think he's ready?
I think he's going to get the shot. I think he's going to get an opportunity in spring training to get the job. They also have a pretty reliable guy in Peralta, who is a little bit older, but is a pretty steady shortstop himself that could kind of maybe gap a little bit more time if Volpe doesn't make the team out of spring training.
He's our Jersey boy. Gotta make it.
Yes, he is.
He's gonna make it.
I think so. How is that? And that saves them some money, Jimmy, if they can get rid of Donaldson and Hicks and these monster contracts, although they'll be responsible for, I'm sure, a majority of them. But what would they look to replace those guys with? Pitching?
Yeah, I have a feeling that you're going to see a possible trade. There's been a lot of talk between the Yankees and the Marlins. The Marlins have all that young talent, and they're almost telling everybody that, you know what, we got rid of Donnie, we got rid of Jeter, we're going to kind of start over again. And they have a pretty good solid base with the kids that they have, but they also do have a lot of minor league kids that the Yankees could be interested in.
Jimmy, what about were you surprised Donnie Baseball got as many votes as he did, or disappointed that he didn't get in and it went to the crime dog, Mr. McGriff, going into the Hall of Fame? Well deserved.
Yeah, listen, I'm disappointed that it has to be 12 out of 16.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, why isn't it just whoever the top 3 vote getters are, you put the 3 guys in the Hall of Fame, and let's get this going. I mean, honestly, on that list, every single one of them is very deserving. And to me, the guy that's getting screwed the most before was Fred McGriff. Right. Now it's Curt Schilling. Because
he told the regular Hall of Fame writers, don't vote for me anymore. And then I heard a few of them say today that they didn't. He was at almost 70-something% he was at.
Yeah. And that's just it. I mean, I don't care how much you don't like a guy or how much, if you're a Yankee and he's a Red Sox or whatever it might be that you don't like Curt Schilling. And I'm not a huge Curt Schilling fan, but I am a fan of the guy that is talent, what he did on the baseball field and what he brought to the organizations that he played for. He was a difference maker. The Arizona Diamondbacks don't win a World Series. The Boston Red Sox don't win a World Series unless Curt Schilling is a part of that. And to me, his body of work, the number of wins he has, but the postseason prowess, this guy's an automatic for me. And I just don't see why guys like Maddox and guys that would respect him as a pitcher wouldn't look past maybe some of the political things or some of the other things that people don't like about him. That has nothing to do with the game of baseball and what he did and what he contributed to the organizations that he played for.
No, I agree. Little update: Saints are beating the Bucs 13-3. Tom Brady once again looks a little bit off, just a little bit off. He's probably seeing that jiu-jitsu guy in his head all night. He can't get any sleep. Anyway, Yeah. Oh, so what do you think? You think that if you had get to that. If you had yes, you think judges coming there for an announcement tomorrow or
Yeah.
Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he comes here, he makes his announcement, and then I think you're going to see things really start to snowball. I think, you know, the shortstops are going to go tomorrow at some point. They're going to start, you know, now that Turner's off the list. Now the other teams that want to build at shortstop, now they have to start going after their guys. I spoke to a couple guys from the Red Sox today. They're hell bent on keeping Bogarts. They don't want to let him go. So they said they're going to try to do everything in their power to keep him there, which means you got probably Correa as being the number one guy ready to go somewhere else. And it'll be interesting to see, number one, not only where he winds up, but the number of years and the amount of money that he'll get, because I still think he's more an upper echelon player than Trey Turner was.
Right. You think he goes to the Dodgers?
That's a good possibility. That was one of the rumors down there today. Yeah.
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 So it's
So we'll
it's
Jimmy,
very-
your lighting has never looked better.
yeah.
Yeah. It's called airport lighting.
Are you at the John Wayne Airport?
Yes, I'm at the John Wayne Airport.
That's where we first met. We connected.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I love that airport.
If I could snap my fingers right there and be right there, I would die to be there.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not happy that I thought when I came home that I was coming home for the off season, and I'm going to spend 4 days this time. I come home for 2 days, and I'm back in New York for 3 more, and then I'm in the Dominican Republic for 4.
Wow.
So I got a busy middle of December. So
When you come back with Michelle, we should go to New York.
yeah, absolutely.
Come here.
No reason
Yeah.
for us to come here. We'll go to New York and eat somewhere
There's some
good.
good restaurants here.
Yeah.
They want to get out of the city.
Yeah, true. We'll go to the
Yeah.
Belmont Tavern.
Oh yeah, Jimmy likes the Belmont.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Bumping into me, my nudge. Move
Uh,
over a little bit. Thank you.
It was a crazy weekend, though, TC.
Yeah.
Crazy weekend. Besides the baseball stuff now, and the winter meeting's starting. Of course, I'm sporting my TCU hat.
They're in, right? What do you
Yeah,
think?
listen. No, they're in. They're automatic. They're in.
University.
They're actually the 3rd ranked team.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's what it stands for, honey.
I know. I used to have a hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw
They're
the hat
great.
one, TCU for Tom Sumner University as a joke.
There you go. We
Yeah.
actually call it Texas California University.
I like that.
27% of their student enrollment every year is from California.
Wow.
Isn't that
Yeah.
isn't that the very expensive college, like where all the rich kids go?
I don't know. about-
72,000. It ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Well, we have friends that go to SMU.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
That's right up there too. Yeah, that's right
And
up
there's
there.
about the campus and how
Yeah.
beautiful it is.
Yep.
Like, yeah. It's like Trenton State.
That's a lot of money, man.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately for us, Ava got great grades at the honors level and everything else, and she got about $40,000 worth of scholarships.
Yes.
That was very helpful.
Joey, come here.
Are you what time's your flight, Jim?
Not till 8:51, so 5:51, 11:51 your time.
Yeah.
I thought you had clothes on.
So
Danzy Spots and best shortstop in the league, Mets.
Oh,
Joey-
listen, the rumor down there today. I hate to bust your bubble, but they're talking about him going to the Chicago Cubs.
Did you hear that, Joe?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that
weird. Why wouldn't he want to stay? I mean, these young guys have a little bit of a dynasty going over there anyway, possible dynasty. They got a lot of young talent.
Well, again, it was down at the winter meetings today. It was talked about, and they did say that the Braves are definitely going to counter, and that they're not going to let him just walk away like that.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see we'll see what happens. I actually, as a fan, but also as a player, hope he stays in Atlanta, because I think his story is such a great story about growing up 10 minutes from that ballpark, and just being a Georgia guy all his life. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Went to Vanderbilt. Was a stud at Vanderbilt.
He might be the Cubs.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. You know,
He's-
that's we're
he's there.
we're
There,
He's staying in Atlanta.
he's at the meetings.
He's staying in Atlanta.
gonna.
You want him to stay in Atlanta, but if you're a Mets fan,
Why
why would you? Why would you want him to be on your rival team?
I never said I wanted him to be.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying he's going to.
Best shortstop.
You know, I was laughing today, Jimmy, at the salaries they put up. The Mets fans used to complain about the Yankees. Between Lindor, Max, and now Verlander, 3 guys making $1 billion
Yeah. Yeah.
over the $1 billion. 3 people.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
I don't know if that's right.
Sure, it's right.
No.
They all have contracts over $300 million.
Uh-uh.
Yes, they do. By the time their contracts are up, it's $1 billion.
Has 82 million.
Yeah, but he's 82 million. The other guy's gonna be 350. Verlander's got a
Oh.
$35 million out.
Scherzer's like 100.
All right, Joey, go to bed. Anyway, but I'm telling you right now, it's $1 billion, close to $1 billion.
It's
Yep.
close to $1 billion. Don't,
3 players.
it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of cheese.
Judge and Swanson.
You're not getting judged.
We're getting Rodon, Judge, and Swanson.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You're gonna need them.
Well, we don't even know who I'm saying.
Well, I know you're right. I might not know who you're all the ones you're saying, but I do know that sounds like pretty unrealistic.
What are your thoughts about the Giants yesterday?
Yeah, a little disappointed. A little disappointed. I didn't.
They should have won.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they had the opportunity. They gave the game away. I hate it when they give it away.
Right.
But this is one of the games. I think you look in the calendar and you go, this is going to be a tough one.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
yesterday.
I said a tie's like kissing your grandmother and she slips you the tongue. It's not good.
What's wrong with him? Who says that? Who even says that?
But I also think, in all honesty, TC, Philadelphia is showing that they're not going away. That this division is theirs to lose.
Yeah, they're strong.
They're looking really good. And we talked about it last night. On Friday. Odell Beckham is still out there.
Right.
And he might be a 2-game difference player if he comes back with the Cowboys or with somebody else. But if I'm him right now, I go to the Eagles.
You ain't kidding. My Steelers 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Steelers 3 in a row.
And my Bengals are, they're coming back. They beat the Chiefs.
I think your Bengals are the favorite in the AFC. I really think they're the best in the AFC. They're going to peak at the right time again. And he's just a winner, man. I heard, who was it, announced it? I don't know who had the game yesterday, but they said he's along the likes of Joe Montana, but's got a stronger arm and he's smooth, man. I really like him.
And the with Kansas City is Patrick Mahomes, and I think he's either 3-0 or 4-0 in head-to-head meetings with him. So, yeah, that's a big advantage for the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean the Bengals are in the Chiefs' head right now, we'll see. But you're right. I think the Eagles are 100% real. They just been dominating people, and that would be funny if they got Odell. Who knows where he'll go? You get to the point too where people get tired of it. Like, make a decision already. I don't know. Do you want to screw up the chemistry of what you have if you're somebody like the Eagles or, like the Giants could use them and the team that's chasing could use them, but the teams that are on top playing good. You as a professional athlete and a teammate of 25 guys, would you get pissed if somebody came in late in the game like that?
I would say normally, but when you're talking about a team game like football, sometimes it is that one player that we didn't have that guy at the beginning of the year. We needed him by the trade deadline, as we call it in baseball.
Right.
And there's been some great deals made at the trade deadline, that have helped other teams get to where they need to get because they were that one person short. So I don't think the bottom line is you come and you help us win. We'll love you. you know, but if you come and you cause all kinds of trouble and we don't win, you're not going to be around very long. You know.
You're exactly right. Yeah, everybody's forgiven after everybody's putting a ring on their finger. Nobody cares, you know.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
what do you think next week, Giants? What are their chances?
Who do we have next week? We got
Eagles.
the Eagles. Yeah, listen. Let's hope that I haven't looked at the weather report. Hopefully, we'll get some snow or something, and you know, we we may have a better chance if we have some conditions that help us. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's we talked about it on Friday. You know, these two games are going to determine whether we think Daniel Jones is that quarterback. And unfortunately, he's 0-1 so far since we put that moniker on him. And he's going to have to lead these guys to a big victory, or they're going to be, or his status, I think, is going to be questioned going forward also.
But on the other side, the Jets, having White named as the quarterback is obviously working out. They made the right choice there. Even in taking a loss this past Sunday, he still looks stronger than, you know, any of their previous quarterbacks, if you will, Joe Flacco and what's the kid's name, the rookie? I'm already forgot his name. He's out of sight, out of mind. But you know, the Jets are still in the hunt for a wild card.
Yeah.
And
listen, they played a respectable game. You know, that is a game that if you look at on the calendar at the beginning of the year and you go, I'm a Jets fan, I am not going to even watch that game because we're going to get blown out. You know, and they played with them. You know, Minnesota Vikings are not 9-2 now, 10-2. I mean, they're no joke either, and you know they played them all the way up to the last possession.
Wait, Ronnie's not a Giants fan?
Ronnie's saying G-Man should get a therapist first, then get OBJ and Antonio Brown. Yeah, that's exactly what they need.
He's not a Giants
fan? I think he is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a G-Man fan.
Yeah.
He's joking. Caffeina's own Ronnie boy. You know, Jimmy, I think that they have two real head coaches here now in New York, New Jersey. Both the Giants and Jets got the right leaders. And it's the first time in a long time, you know, because they really haven't really counted on anybody. It's like they finally got some credibility here. Would you agree? I mean, like, I think there's consistency is really what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. And bringing in these coaches that, number one, make the guys on the team feel like, you know what, I'm rooting for you just as much as your fans are. You know, and you can see both coaches on the sidelines. They're into this thing, man. They're cheering, they're pumping their guys up. I like to see that kind of coach come into a situation like he came into, and just be that outgoing. I think both these coaches have done a great job.
I agree. Hey, we're going to go to commercial. You going to stick around, or are you going to head to the gate?
No, I've got about 20 more minutes. All
right, sounds good. Let's head to commercial, and we'll be back with the King and America's favorite Jersey girl and myself, Tommy Settner.
Caffeina. Boost, replenish, hydrate. Caffeina with your meeting, with a workout, on the go, to keep going, with a meal, with friends, to kickstart your day. Caffeina, Amazon's best-selling caffeine-infused spring water, 7+ pH balance, electrolyte enhanced. Taste pure spring water. Feel the charge.
Now, you hitting the caffeina for the red eye, or are you hitting the medicine, Tylenol PM?
No, sir. I got the red wine and the gummies, the CBG gummy, and one muscle relaxer because my foot. I think I told you I hyperextended my ankle, and I'm actually in a walking boot now. Yeah, so I'm going to pray that my foot doesn't blow up during this trip.
You know, I just read an article about what you shouldn't eat, and it's common sense before you get on the plane. Salt, but they serve you peanuts, for God's sakes, on there. So I don't know.
Peanuts and pretzels.
Very concerned because you were going to get on a plane today, and you were very concerned about how you were going to feel. So
yeah, I had a terrible night. You know, same thing. We forgetting eating a new knee. I got all this other nonsense going on in my legs, but I
CBD, CBN. Take it
CBN.
at night for sleeping. There's no THC in it, so you don't have to worry about anything. But it's CBD, CBN. Basically it's saving my marriage because my wife takes a half of one, I take a whole one, and I have no leg pain. I don't toss and turn at night like I used to. It's a godsend. It's saving our marriage. And Michelle, she'll get up one time a night to go to the bathroom, but that's usually when both of us would wake up and we couldn't go back to sleep. Now with this CBN, we can go right back to sleep. And
You get that.
yeah, it's the company is called Wild, WYLD, and I get it from CBD.co.
And it's really working for you, huh? Because I don't sleep, but
He doesn't sleep at all.
a total of 2 hours the whole night, and that's combined 15 minutes at a clip.
I can bet you if you get this, you will be sleeping 7 to 8 hours.
Wow.
And the best part about it is you don't wake up groggy. You wake up totally refreshed because it's all natural.
Right.
Yeah.
If any of our watchers, listeners want to weigh in, feel free. Everybody goes through these. You see these commercials. If you're up at night, you see all the night commercials telling you what you should take to go back to sleep. Obviously, they don't work because they want you to stay up and watch their commercial.
Balance of nature.
Balance of nature, right? All this stuff. But the truth of the matter is, I'm sleeping in a chair 70% of the time now because of the pain from my back.
And when I first came home from the baseball season, because Michelle and I, we were separate during the baseball season. She only came in once in a while to see me in New York. And our biggest problem when I first came home was I was still having a lot of pain, still going through these things. And I literally slept on the couch 3 nights out of the 6 that I, So once I got these CBDs, forget it. It's been over a little over a month and a half now, and I feel great.
That's good. I gotta order it for sure.
Did you write that down?
I wrote down Wild.
WYLD.
All right, but that's our medical tip of the week.
There it is.
Nice.
That's what it looks like. It's elderberry. Yep, elderberry. That's the one you want.
Do you take them before you go on the plane, like on a flight like this?
Yep. I'm going to take it right now before I get on and hopefully sleep the 4.5, 5 hours.
I'm sure the audience is happy to hear about Jimmy and Tommy and Robin sleeps. That she don't have any sleeping problems. But
you know what? If we can help our listeners.
That's right. And you know what, Jimmy? When I get on a plane, I get that restless leg too, which there's times where I just want to dive out the door. I mean, it's that bad. So I'm trying anything at this point. I was a guy who took nothing his whole life. At this point, I'll take anything. I know why
Michelle was the same. Yeah, Michelle was the same way. She didn't want it. I'm like, babe, just try it. And now forget it. It's it's a routine.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Where are you staying up in Long Island, or are you staying in the city?
Staying at the apartment in the city.
Yeah. The city again. I'm getting more nervous and nervous. The more every day now, it's like when in the 70s and 80s, all you hear is rape, murder, assault in these subways. Jimmy, I mean, it's just really out of control. I don't understand why they can't get that part. Put every damn rookie cop you have in the subways. That's what they had to do years ago. I mean,
well, I think that's where they're getting to. It's always worse come wintertime because some of the homeless and some of the people that have their issues that are on the streets, they migrate down to the subways.
Yep.
And that's why we've got to get more people down, more police down there to patrol, because that's the wintertime is when it really gets bad.
It's really tough. Well, did you see any of our old friends down in San Diego at the winter meetings today?
I was with Mr. Skeels today.
You were?
Yep, me and Mr. Andy. Yeah,
I was listening to his former manager, Bochy, on MLB, and he said he already got smarter because they signed DeGrom, so he's already a better manager, But the truth of the matter is that Texas is serious, obviously, when you're signing a future Hall of Fame manager, and now you're putting these players around him. and Houston's getting a little weaker, you could say, as far as pitching now. I don't know. Is there any rumors who they're going to try to replace Verlander with?
Yeah, they said Rondon obviously is the number one free agent. Pretty much
Right.
anybody that wants a starting pitcher. But there's a few other guys out there. Porcello's out there. There's some other guys that could fill in, but they're not your top tier free agents. But yeah, I mean, once Rondon, like I said, once Rondon comes off, I think you'll see a lot more trades. I think you see a lot more people making some deals to get that starting pitching that they need, especially these upper echelon teams.
You think that the Cubs are in a position? Why would they go after? Why would Turner go there? I mean, the Cubs look like they're in a real rebuilding. It's going to take years to get back.
Yeah, when they mentioned the possibility of Swanson, you meant.
Right. I'm sorry, Swanson.
Yeah. I don't see it. It's just something that, again, you walk down there through that lobby, you hear all these guys trying to make a name for themselves by, and I was joking today with John Heyman. I said, John, he goes, you're not down here to break another huge trade like Stanton, are you?
I remember that.
And I said, I'm safe. Don't worry. Your job is safe.
You think is the place buzzing? Is there anybody talking about Judge possibly going to the Giants?
I mean, there's talk, there's rumors. Skeelsley and I ran into a couple of Giant guys today, and they didn't really lean that, hey, we're really going hard after this guy. And I think the majority of people figure that he's flying in tomorrow to make the announcement that he's going to go back to the New York Yankees. And,
Right.
I was with our other buddy Tommy O'Connell today too, and Tommy's an agent, and Tommy said the same thing. Why are you going to? Because if I'm his agent,
Right.
of course, I want more money and I want more another year or two. But if he goes to the Giants or if he goes to the Mets may be a little bit more likely. But if he doesn't leave New York, he pretty much guarantees a red carpet into the Hall of Fame. And you got to think about that. As a player, you have to think about that. Going, okay, I mean, I understood. Like I told you the other night, I understood when Cano left because it was $100 million difference.
Yep.
That's a lot of money. You don't leave that. But in Judge's situation, the 20 million or 15, 30 million, whatever he leaves on the table from these other teams that might offer a little more, he's going to make that up in the first and second year in New York, having the big C on his uniform and being the man of New York. If I'm his agent, I'm going, hey, stay here. It's a guaranteed walk into the Hall of Fame. It's a guarantee. Here's the other thing that I found interesting during our conversation. I said to TC, yeah, you know what? To TOC, your TC. To TOC, I said, hey, if he goes to San Francisco, if he goes to the Mets, and he gets hurt in the second year of his contract, he's still going to get the final 6 years or 7 years, whatever it might be left over.
Right.
But he has no chance to either be part of Yankee history again or be part of the new team that he's with. Even if he goes with the Yankees and gets hurt after the first 2 years, he's still going to go down as Aaron Judge,
It's really
So-
great because he's already got so many years in the system and came up through the system, and and it took 60 years, but he breaks Roger Maris's record. So he'll be up on Mount Rushmore Yankees of Ruth and Gehrig and Maris and Mantle and Judge. You're 100% right. Does that mean something to him? It's got to mean something to him. Come on, that's why you play the game.
Yeah, I think it does. And I think, like I said, he comes from a very humble background. And again, it's not just about chasing the money. It's about loyalty. And I think if the Yankees make the right offer, he's going to hey, they made me captain. They gave me $300 million. And why wouldn't I stay there?
I seen the Angels manager Phil Nevin on MLB today, and he's talking about what it's like to finally manage and how he's got two of the greatest players, probably in the history of baseball on his team. and you live right there in the backyard, what are the Angels going to do? Because they spend a lot of money. Is there any rumors still? Are they still for sale, or is Artie Moreno backed off, or what's going on?
Yeah, no, they're still up on the chopping block. They're still being sold. Um, they it's kind of calmed down a little more than it was last year. But honestly, I think whoever the new ownership might be, they're going to just kind of wait and sit back and see what happens here in the next 3 or 4 weeks before spring training starts. And if Otani decides to leave, or if Trout decides to leave, then the value of your club has gone down, and
Right.
whoever's trying to buy them might be able to get them at a cheaper price.
I just think that here's another example. The team's worth up to $3 billion. The rumor has it. Think about these numbers that we're talking about. 4 guys making almost $1 billion over their contract. Clubs are selling for $3 billion. It looks like we're paying $50 for parking and $15 for a beer. That ain't going away anytime soon.
No. I mean, if you think about it, everybody complains about Hal Steinbrenner, but bottom line is his dad bought that team for $10 million.
Right.
So whenever you sell it, you're going to be making your money no matter what. So why? And sometimes that's the Yankee fans saying, "Hey, why are you so afraid to spend money? Your dad didn't care because your value is already quadrupled 10 times over. Spend some of that money that you're going to be taking with you."
Well, Steinbrenner brought the team for $10 million off of CBS in the 70s, and it's worth about $8 billion right now. I think the Yankees and the Cowboys are the two top. Think about that investment. But
Exactly.
you're right. Though he loved money, I'm sure, Mr. Steinbrenner, but he loved to win. I could probably bet he loved to win more than he loved. He never thought his team was going to be worth $8 billion. Nobody ever thought there's going to be the Yes networks and all these different things. But it's just incredible right now. I saw the Bitcoin scam. I didn't know they had the naming rights to the Miami Heat Stadium.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is amazing, right? So they think they got a stadium deal. Now that's gone. But sports is a definitely a hobby and a toy for the billionaires now. There's a lot more billionaires, and even if they don't like the sports, they're getting involved. And I remember the LA Clippers were sold for $2 billion, and everybody laughed at them. Now they're worth more already. So.
Yeah, some of the other interesting talk that I heard down there too was about the expansion teams in Nashville, obviously being one of the centers that they're talking about, Vegas being another one. A lot of people feel like Oakland is not going to survive much longer. And that could be a team that we could see even before spring training, possibly being sold and change of venue as far as pulling out of Oakland.
So, yeah, they need to get out of Oakland. I mean, it's just. I don't mean that against the city of Oakland, but it's just that's not a baseball stadium. It never was. But what you think somebody's going to end up in Nashville?
Yeah, I actually saw Dave Stewart today, and he's part of that committee, and they feel pretty good that there's a good chance that Nashville is one of the top 2 destinations that Major League Baseball is considering whenever the next 2 or 3 teams they decide to move, whether it's the Tampa Bay, whether it's the Miami Marlins, the Seattle Mariners have been talking about moving, and of course, obviously, the Oakland A's are the number 1 right now.
The 3 of us spent time in Tampa on the radio, on the Big 8 radio down there, and we went to a few games, Jimmy, and they just don't support that team. It's in a bad location. And they need to move, whether they move to Ybor, which they've talked about for years, or they need to get the hell out of there totally. I mean, it's just not fair for these guys to be playing in front of 5,000 people. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, and obviously the team's not making any money, and the city's not making a lot of money. So the reason the team's supposed to be there is to be able to, the people are willing to pay the taxes because the team is bringing revenue into the city, but they're not doing it.
Right. They're in St. Petersburg. They're not even in Tampa. And some people don't want to make that drive. I mean, it's just that simple. But I don't know. It's same with the Marlins. Florida's got 2 teams that don't even, if they draw 5,000 apiece, 6,000 apiece on a night, that's the norm, and that's sad. I mean, and it's a beautiful stadium down in Miami, but nobody comes there either.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was living down there when all these decisions were going on and where they were going to move the new ballpark to. And when they said the Orange Bowl, where the Orange Bowl used to be, I'm like, it was a pain going down on a Saturday, much less 6 days, 7 days a week to go watch a game. How are they going to expect to draw anybody? And unfortunately, basically the fan base that they were going to have, they don't have the money to be spending what major league ballparks are
Right.
charging. You needed to be up a little further in Sunrise, where a lot of the corporations from West Palm Beach, where you could draw from a lot more people that could be sponsors that would be willing to get involved with the team had they moved it a little further up. And of course, being able to draw from all of those different areas. You just can't do that when you're down in the panhandle of Miami.
Yep. Hey, speaking of people that draw, one of the greatest athletes of all time, because he played football at the highest level and baseball at the highest level. Primetime, Deion Sanders is leaving Jackson and going to University of Colorado as the new head coach. Were you surprised? He really committed to these kids at a much lower level and had them undefeated and was starting to draw, get some, recruits to come there. And I listened to him today and said, if you don't move on up, eventually they'll move you on out, which is true. So he felt like, in a way, he was betraying where he was leaving, but he knew that if he didn't, eventually somebody would take him out. What's your thoughts on him and going from the radio booth, TV booth, and now, he's got a big head coaching job in Colorado.
You know what? I played with him in the minor leagues, played with him at the Yankees. I love the guy. I mean, his persona, everybody knows that one. But the personal side of him, the good guy, a good Christian, good guy. Listen, when he puts the uniform on, when he puts the coaching unit, he becomes prime time. That's his shtick. That's what's made him successful. But off the field, when you went and see him with his family and things like that, he is one of the greatest guys in the world. And I couldn't be happier to see someone like him that says, listen, you don't have to be all the X's and O's. You got to know how to motivate people. You got to know how to make people understand what's important and how to win. And I think he's done a great job.
He had a great line a few weeks ago. I heard him say, he said, don't let my confidence and security make you insecure.
Yeah.
Which was classic, and it really is, because that's what happens when you're young, or you're an athlete, or you're an actress or an actor. You think out of the box. People say, "Oh, you're cocky." Then you get to a different level, and they say, "Oh, you're confident," and then you become overbearing. Never stopped him. He did it. He went from the field to the booth. He's walking away. He walked away from an unbelievable job on the NFL and recreated himself yet again. But that's pretty cool. It'll be fun to watch him and see what he does in Colorado. When do you finally settle down and stay back in California? On what date are you getting back there for the holiday?
Unfortunately, I will not be back till the 18th of December. I'll get back. I come home for 2 days, and then I'm back to New York, and then back to the DR. And I get back to California on the 18th. And then it's the first time in probably the last 5 years that we're not celebrating my birthday on my birthday, because we normally get our timeshare during my birthday week, which is December 27th to New Year's. And we usually do something then. Our timeshare didn't come through till after January 1st. So we're going to be celebrating my birthday and everything else from in Hawaii, December 31st to January 8th.
Nice. You better get out of that boot.
Yeah, I know. Well, and then I have that trip. I come home for 3 days, and then I go to Tampa for the ladies' fantasy camp and the men's fantasy camp. So I'll be in Tampa for 11 days.
I saw our good friend Joe had his Yankee hat on today. I was busting his chops. He says he has many. Joe Caruso, is he going down? Him and his wife, they go down for. They do both.
They'll be at both camps. Yeah.
Nice. We might have to make a trip down and go watch Yankee fantasy camp. It's fun.
There we do. We do a live show with King and the Cop.
King and the Cop. That's right. That would be a good idea. The people from Tampa would love to see us, Robin. They missed you.
No, they must.
You know.
They must.
So, Jimmy, early on, you Rangers are being consistent.
Yeah, listen, New Jersey's on fire.
Yeah.
You can't be the Rangers and go, oh my God, we got to catch up. No, you know what? This is a streak that some teams go on. I can't, the last time they did this, you remember, you and I were buddies with the ownership then. What was the guy's name?
Michael Philin.
Philin. This is the same kind of streak that they went on. I remember you and I being in this week going, you don't have much of a chance unless you can roll off 20 out of the next 25. And what did they do? They went on a 20. Yeah, they did it. So
they're having a kind of start that the Yankees had this year.
Yeah,
they're just going crazy. And you're right. They're a runaway train in a good way. New Jersey needs it. It's been a while since they've been in the winner's circle. But yeah, there were fun times. The Florida Panthers, actually. Our buddy Michael Yormark was the president of the Panthers, and the Devils. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So, but not as fun as Rangers.
By the way, I'll be in the old hood on Saturday night. I'll be at the NJ Pack.
For what?
I'm going to see the the Temptations and the Four Tops.
No way. We might have to double date and meet you there.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a triple date because I'm going there with my IT boss, Larry Weiss. Him and his wife they have a suite there, so they're going to take us, me and Michelle, on Saturday night to go see that.
A lot of fun.
And Robin, by the way, Thursday night, if you guys aren't doing anything, I'm working on getting some tickets for the Music Man with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Yeah. So when my buddy lets me know if I can pull off 4, I'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah.
I've heard so many wonderful things about that show. But what I've also heard about the show is that, what I know to be true about the show is that the tickets are extremely expensive. And but one of my biggest regrets, I don't know if Michelle has seen the show. I know Michelle loves Broadway. One of my biggest regrets is missing Hugh Jackman play Peter Allen in The Boy from Oz.
Yes, we did see that. Yeah.
Did? Yeah, I just, because I listened to the score after the fact, and then I fell in love with the score and then learned all about Peter Allen, never knowing he was behind some of those iconic songs. I never knew he wrote I Honestly Love You, that Olivia Newton-John. I never knew that. When My Baby Goes to Rio, like all those great songs. And then by the time obviously it closed. So
right.
I appreciated the score, and then my appreciation for Hugh Jackman, forget it. It just grew so I couldn't imagine being able to see him in The Music Man. I'm sure that is incredible. Incredible. I mean,
we'll see.
He seems to be Professor Harold Hill. Like, he is that character.
Yeah.
He is
there hasn't been too much besides X-Men that I've seen him in that hasn't been good.
Right.
He was still good in that. I mean, he was still pretty good in that. But
it's funny because people don't realize that Hugh Jackman is actually born and bred in the theater.
Yeah.
Because we met him in those, I don't know what movie we met him in first, but he became a movie star to most people before anybody knew he was literally a theater buff. Like, he was bit by that bug, and he was a star way before he was a star,
Right.
Like Nathan Lane, he gets these cameos on Nathan Lane's a good example, and there's so many examples.
Have you ever been?
I would love to do a show about that.
What?
Examples of movie stars that you didn't know were actually Broadway you wouldn't care. You'd sit there like,
No,
that.
I was thinking of the guy you told me about that was in Homeland, and you told me he's a famous.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
He's a great example. Mandy Patinkin.
Yep.
Homeland. I saw him on Homeland, and I said, no. This man is a legend. He's a legend on Broadway.
Yeah.
He's one of the most talented individuals living. And it's kind of sad to me because you don't really get your due until you're on a screen. But man, if you saw some of his work, Into the Woods, Fiddler on the Roof, Sunday in the Park with George, like he's an icon.
Have you ever been to the Pack, Jimmy?
No,
Yeah,
I have not.
No.
I have not. No.
Yeah.
Wait, when you guys were Bears, there was no Pack?
No, there was a Pack, but we didn't go to anything. We went to a couple of, like, events, but not.
They didn't invite you to the theater?
Not to the thing. We didn't seem like theater guys. But Miss Robin just sang there a few weeks ago, and it's just really beautiful. And they say that house that Ruth built, Yankee Stadium, this is the house that Ray Chambers built. I mean, it's just remarkable.
Where will you go eat before? Do you know?
Well, we won't because she gets in Thursday around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Into JFK. So if we end up getting tickets, it's going to be pick her up at the airport and get right to the theater.
Okay.
Well,
I was saying on Saturday at the NJ Pack.
Oh, Saturday. You know what? I don't know what Mary has planned. I'm not. We haven't discussed that far out yet.
well, after the show, you might want to go visit your old favorite diner, Tops, because it's completely different now. It looks like a movie theater. It's incredible.
There was a 2-hour wait.
2-hour wait every time we go there now. It's
2-hour wait.
we used to be, as Yogi would say, nobody goes there anymore because it's too crowded.
But Jimmy, actually, I will never get over the fact that he's never had a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. So he should probably wait. He should wait. And get it at Tops, right?
Well, let us know. Maybe we'll catch up with you before you head back. Take the night off from the King and the Cup. But good day. I'll give you an update. The Saints are up 16-10 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go with the ball left. So Brady could be in trouble yet again. Another loss. This guy, all his beauty and all his luck and all his talent, when I mean that in a sincere way, I think he's having the roughest year of his life right now. You probably could say that, both on and off the field. All right, King, fly safe.
Yes, and
I
hope you feel better with your foot and that the flying is going to be okay. I'm sure it will. You're prepared.
Yes, I have enough medical helpers to get me there.
And
whether I can't
have gloves and a hat and a scarf and a coat.
Already, yep.
Then you're good. Then you're good.
All right, brother. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe flight, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Safe trip.
Have a safe flight.
All right. Well, we got about a minute to go, and another.
We have a minute to go, me and you?
On the show.
Oh.
I don't know what.
We do. I thought we were gonna wrap it up.
Anyway, the Mets. Congratulations, Justin
Can
Verlander.
we talk about my haircut?
You've been staring at yourself the whole time.
Well, it's hard. There's like 11 inches cut off my head.
And I think when you weren't staring at yourself, you literally left the show.
Well, I had to go to the bathroom. You wanted? Okay.
Well, you wanted to look in the mirror in there.
What was I going to talk about when you guys are talking about baseball and I don't know? And if I have to use the ladies' room, why can't I just go?
Yeah, no.
And then the dog rang the bell because the dog needed to go out. Yeah. And I thought, okay, well, I can let the dog just hold it. But if the dog doesn't hold it and the dog has an accident, then I thought to myself, my inner dialogue is saying, who's cleaning it up? Me. Okay. So you know what? I said, I'm getting up and letting the dog out. And sure enough, I opened the door. The dog went wee-wee. Dog came right back in. And now this little angel is laying by my feet right now.
So for Fitz, the dog, with an empty bladder, Jimmy Layert's the king, Robin DeLaurie with the new haircut. I'm Tommy Setner saying have a Good night.
Abby Ardolino.
And Abby Ardolino. And we will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And hopefully we'll have a little judge sighting, maybe even a signing. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.